The glow from your phone is the least of your problems. You've been told 1,000 times that blue light wrecks your sleep, but that's like blaming a single leaky pipe for a house-wide flood. By the end of this, you'll understand the silent, deeper mechanisms your phone uses to dismantle your rest, long after the screen goes dark. And this damage is cumulative, compounding every single night you sleep with that device in the same room. We have to start with the blue light, just to get it out of the way. Yes, the specific wavelength of light emitted by your screen mimics daylight. It tricks a gland in your brain, the pineal gland, into thinking it's still daytime. This suppresses the release of melatonin, the hormone that signals it's time to wind down. This is biologically straightforward. It's why you might feel wired even when you're exhausted. And it's why every phone now has a night mode that shifts the screen to a warmer, amber tone. Problem solved. Right? The companies that designed these addictive devices have kindly provided a button to fix the problem they created, except that button is a placebo. It's a comforting illusion that makes you feel like you're in control. Changing the color of the light is like switching from a megaphone to a regular speaking voice while still shouting "fire" in a crowded theater. The stimulus is slightly less jarring, but the message being delivered to your nervous system is identical. The real issue is the content, the medium itself. The endless scroll, the notifications, the infinite potential for a new piece of information. Each swipe, each refresh is a tiny gamble. It's a microdose of dopamine, the neurotransmitter of anticipation and desire. You're pulling a slot machine lever over and over, and your brain is learning that this little glowing rectangle is the most reliable source of novelty on the planet. This cycle of anticipation and reward is the exact opposite of the calm, predictable state your brain needs to prepare for sleep. The amber filter soothes your retina. It does absolutely nothing to soothe your brain's addiction to the game. But that's not even where the real damage is happening. The true problem isn't what your phone does to your hormones. It's what it does to your sense of safety. Imagine your ancient ancestors sleeping on the savanna. Their survival depended on a highly tuned vigilance system. Any unexpected snap of a twig or shift in the wind could mean a predator was nearby. Their brains evolved to sleep with one part still listening, still monitoring for threats. This is a crucial survival mechanism. Your brain has that exact same software. It's designed to prioritize safety over rest. It will gladly sacrifice a night of deep restorative sleep if it means you'll be alive in the morning. Now, look at the phone on your nightstand. You don't see a predator, you see a portal. A portal to your boss, who might send an urgent email at 10 p.m. A portal to social media, where a single comment or a picture you're tagged in could trigger a wave of social anxiety. A portal to the entire world's emergencies, breaking news, and collective outrage. Your brain can't tell the difference between a social threat and a physical one. An angry email from your boss activates the same threat detection circuits as that snapping twig on the savanna. The result is a state of constant, low-grade hypervigilance. Your body is physically in bed, in your safe home, but your nervous system is on patrol. It never fully stands down. This explains why you can get 8 hours in bed and wake up feeling like you've been in a fight. You have been. Your brain has spent the night on high alert, preventing itself from descending into the deepest, most restorative stages of sleep. You might get plenty of light, junk sleep, but you're being robbed of the two phases where the real magic happens. The first of these is where your brain builds who you are. Every day you accumulate a mountain of experiences, conversations, and information. Most of it is garbage. A tiny fraction is worth keeping. The process of sorting the valuable from the worthless happens during deep sleep, also known as slow-wave sleep. Think of your brain as a library at the end of a busy day. Books are piled everywhere. The job of the night shift librarian, your deep sleep cycle, is to meticulously reshelve the important books and toss the junk mail into the recycling bin. This is memory consolidation. It's how you learn. It's how skills move from conscious effort to unconscious competence. But the hypervigilance caused by your phone throws a wrench in this entire process. That librarian is trying to work while a low, persistent alarm is buzzing in the background. The work gets sloppy. Important memories get misfiled or thrown out entirely. Trivial, anxiety-inducing information, like that argument you witnessed in a comment section, gets treated as a priority threat and gets cemented into your memory. You're actively strengthening the neural pathways for anxiety while weakening the ones for skills and meaningful experiences. This isn't a metaphor. It's a mechanical process. The transition into slow-wave sleep requires your brain to feel fundamentally safe. The mere possibility that your phone could buzz with a new notification, a new demand, a new emergency, is enough to keep your brain from fully committing to the shutdown sequence. It hovers in the lighter stages, waiting. You might not even be aware of it, but your memory pays the price. You wake up with a brain that's cluttered with the previous day's noise, unable to recall the information you actually tried to learn. Your mind is less a library and more a hoarder's garage. And if that process is about organizing the past, the phone is also sabotaging the part of sleep that designs your future. After cycling through deep sleep, your brain enters a very different state. Rapid eye movement sleep, REM. This is where the most bizarre and creative work happens. If deep sleep is a librarian, REM sleep is an artist throwing paint at a canvas. During REM, your brain deactivates rational, linear thinking and starts making wild, improbable connections between seemingly unrelated memories and ideas. It's a chaos engine for creativity, the solution to a complex problem you've been stuck on for weeks, the unexpected business idea, the artistic insight. These are often born in the associative storm of REM sleep. It's also where your brain processes emotions, stripping the painful charge from difficult memories so you can learn from them without being re-traumatized. It's therapy, invention, and rehearsal all happening at once. Your phone sabotages this process through priming. The content you consume in the hour before bed sets the stage for the entire night. If you spend that hour doom scrolling through negative news or getting into arguments online, you are priming your brain with themes of threat, conflict, and helplessness. You're giving the artist a palette of mud and anxiety to work with. Your brain then spends its precious REM cycles trying to process this fictional, secondhand stress instead of working on your actual life's problems and opportunities. The creative synthesis is hijacked. It's spent trying to make sense of a stranger's political rant or a looming international crisis you have zero control over. This is why you can wake up from a full night's sleep feeling emotionally drained and uninspired. Your brain spent the night running frantic, pointless simulations based on the anxious digital noise you fed it. It never got the chance to work on your stuff. You've outsourced your most creative mental real estate to the whims of an algorithm designed to keep you engaged through outrage and fear. You're sacrificing your own insight for a few more moments of stimulation. So the damage is clear. Your phone creates a state of hypervigilance that blocks deep sleep, which trashes your memory consolidation. It then primes your REM sleep with anxiety, which kneecaps your creativity and emotional regulation. The solution seems obvious. Just put the phone in another room. Easy. But research has discovered something that makes the problem far more insidious. It's what happens when the phone is just sitting there, silent, dark. A series of studies have explored a phenomenon called the mere presence effect. They take two groups of people and give them a difficult cognitive test. For one group, their phone is on the desk, face down and on silent. For the other group, their phone is in another room. The group with the phone on the desk consistently performs worse, significantly worse. Their available working memory and fluid intelligence take a measurable hit. Why? Because a part of their brain, a part they aren't even consciously aware of, is actively working to not pick up the phone. Resisting the temptation consumes cognitive resources. The brain knows the portal is there. The potential for a notification, the potential for a distraction, is enough to diminish its capacity. Now, apply this to your bedroom. You put your phone on the nightstand, you turn it face down, you put it on silent. You've done all the right things, but your brain knows the portal is within arm's reach. All night long, a sliver of its attention is reserved. Stand guard over that potential. It's like trying to get a deep restorative sleep next to a box with a button that could do anything from dispensing a treat to delivering an electric shock. Even if the button is never pressed, you will never fully relax. Your brain understands, on a deep primal level, that this object is the single most powerful source of social validation, critical news, and personal connection in your life. Leaving it unattended is, to your primitive brain, an act of negligence. This phantom limb effect is why the first thing 80% of people do upon waking is reach for their phone. The urge was building all night. Their brain was already anticipating the moment it could check the portal and confirm that the world didn't end, that they weren't socially ostracized, that their boss didn't fire them via a midnight email. The addiction isn't just to the light or the content, it's to the mere presence of the object itself. Leaving the phone in the bedroom, even if you don't touch it, is like inviting a professional heckler to sit quietly in the corner of your therapy session. The room is poisoned. But even moving the phone out of the room only solves the immediate problem. It addresses the symptom. The underlying disease is that the phone has already rewired the very thing your brain needs to initiate sleep in the first place, the ability to be bored. Think about how people fell asleep for 92% of human history. The sun went down, the world got quiet, it got dark, there was nothing to do. You might talk by a fire or read a book by candlelight, but eventually you were left alone with your own thoughts in a state of profound low stimulation. This period of quiet, of boredom, was a crucial transitional phase. It was the runway the brain needed to slow down from the complexities of the day and prepare for the immense task of sleep. Boredom wasn't a problem to be solved. It was a neurological state to be inhabited. The smartphone has declared war on boredom. Any moment of stillness, waiting in line, sitting at a red light, the 30 seconds it takes for a pot of water to boil, is now an opportunity to pull out the portal and get a hit of novel information. We have trained our brains with thousands of repetitions every day to believe that boredom is an error state that must be corrected immediately. We have forgotten how to simply exist with our own thoughts. We've become intolerant of the quiet mental space where our minds used to wander, process, and decompress. So when it's time for bed, we scroll right up to the last possible second. We're hurtling down the runway of life at 500 miles per hour, and then expecting to slam on the brakes and be perfectly still 1 second later. The brain can't do that. It needs that buffer of boredom to downshift. By eliminating the buffer, you create a state of cognitive whiplash. Your mind is still racing, still processing the last dozen things you saw, still anticipating the next hit of dopamine, while you're commanding your body to shut down. It's a contradiction, and the brain, confused and overstimulated, simply refuses to cooperate. The solution, then, is more profound than just managing blue light or moving your phone. It requires intentionally engineering a period of boredom back into your life. An hour before you want to be asleep, all screens must go off. The phone is plugged in another room, the television is off, the laptop is closed. The world gets quiet again. At first, this will feel excruciating. Your brain will scream for its stimulus. You'll feel a phantom itch to check something, to scroll something, to consume something. This is the withdrawal. But if you sit through it, something else happens. Your mind, starved of external input, will begin to generate its own. It will start to wander. It will replay conversations from the day. It will chew on a problem. It will drift into a memory. This is the runway. This is the brain beginning its own nightly shutdown sequence on its own terms. You're not fighting your phone anymore. You're simply giving your mind the one thing it needs most, and the one thing our modern world has almost completely erased. You're giving it nothing. You're trading an infinite scroll for a finite 8 hours. But in those 8 hours in that darkness, your brain builds your mind, heals your body, and creates your future, and the door to that world only opens in the quiet. The bill for endless stimulation is paid with the currency of your own depth. And it's a bill that comes due every